Alright, so what I'm going to do in the next, say about 45 minutes is to basically take you through a very quick overview of what's new coming in Notes and Domino, specifically on 8.5.3. We are currently looking at launching 8.5.3 in the next couple of months, okay, towards the second half of this year. We are also going to be launching another version of same time, which is going to be 8.5.2, so we'll talk about that. And we'll also try to tell you how you can use your Notes client more intelligently. There are a few things which you can actually do on your Notes client, specifically with respect to widgets and plugins. Since we don't really have too many people in the room, people at the back, if you would like to come and sit on the first seat, you'll get the best seats in the house because of the fact that I'm going to be doing a lot of demos and you'll be able to see the screen. So, you will be beneficial if you actually come and sit in the front because you will get to see what I'm actually doing. Because I'm actually going to do everything live. There is not going to be less of presentations and more of demos in this particular session of mine. So you will be better off if you come and sit up front or sit in the first few rows. You will be really very nice. Okay. So let's basically do a quick agenda review. So as I said, I'll just do a quick review or a quick recap on what happened in 2010. What is going to be happening in 8.5.3 from a collaboration standpoint. How do I extend the Notes and iNotes clients using widgets and live text? We're going to show you a quick preview of Xpages. I know for some people know about what Xpages are. But in case you don't know what Xpages are, we'll just do a quick intro and then we'll probably show you some cool demos on how you can actually use Xpages to really reload your Domino application. So if you're using Domino applications, you can get them converted into Xpages compatible applications. You have Symphony. Symphony is our productivity tool for presentation, spreadsheets and documents. You can see how you can use Symphony in very, very intelligent ways. We'll also probably show you something on same time and same time unified telephony. So we are going to be doing this, most of those as demos. Just a quick recap on 2010 in review. We did release 8.5.2 in August of 2010. Lots of feature enhancements happened in 8.5.2. One was obviously around the fact that there were incremental feature enhancements. There were a few things which we did on the client side. We did few quality improvements. We did a lot of performance optimization. We made it better to deploy. We did things like, for example, on the Domino server, we introduced a Domino diagnostic probe. So which allows you to now quarantine your corrupted databases, and you can move those corrupted databases into a separate repository, or you can create a file out of it so that that database does not crash your server. Things like that. We also launched the Traveler edition, which is the obviously access to your mail on your mobile phone, which is non-BlackBerry, Windows Mobile or Nokia or Symbian devices or iPhone and iPad, and we actually offered that. And of course, with 8.5.2.1, we also offered support for Android and also the Traveler server per se running on Linux. So we really had a lot of capability around it. We also provided a Traveler companion for iOS. This was to access your encrypted mail, so you can access your mails from an encrypted device, in the sense that if a mail has been encrypted from a Notes client, you can access that on a mobile. There were plugins which were available for Tangle and Gist. So these were a few things which we actually did. Couple of other things which we also did parallelly around Notes and Domino in 2010 was that in March of 2010 we announced a free developer and test images on the IBM Cloud as well as on Amazon E-Squared. So we actually allowed you to basically, if you are a Domino developer, to test your Domino images, to test your applications, you could use the Amazon Cloud or the IBM Cloud on those lines. BlackBerry, of course, announced their enterprise server Express for Domino. This is up to 100 users, so you can actually do that. In December 2010, we have announced that clustering for Domino Collaboration Express will now be available. So if you're a Collaboration Express user, you can use clustering. We also did a lot of changes on the catalog with new plugins, with new widgets coming into place. And of course, our OpenNTF community, which is our open source community, really grew substantially. We had 68 new controls being added into one package, and we had a huge number of new applications being launched. I'll show you some of those applications, which are being launched and which are being in use. Also, we launched Lotus Live Notes, so I'm not going to take the show away from Ashish and others who are going to do a demo of that. I just basically wanted to put this slide because it was connected to messaging and collaboration. So we did launch a cloud version of Lotus Live Notes, where your notes client will remain on your desktop and you have your Domino server on the cloud. So essentially we offered that as an option for SaaS users or for people who wanted to move to cloud. We also shipped Symphony 3. So Symphony 3 is based on OpenOffice ORG 3.0 code stream, and what it then offers you is a host of new features and functionality. One of the biggest features in Symphony 3, if you are an Excel user, you will find Visual Basic macro support. So which means that you will find VBA support for your macros. You can run them. There is also a scan utility available to check your macros before you actually run them. So you can check for security and other issues. You have a host of other range of support available. We did offer Office 2007 support. We are allowing you to open up DocX, XLX and PPTX documents. We are not allowing you to save them right now, but that feature will also come in very, very shortly. Also, let's talk about 8.5.3. So let's talk about what's going to be coming in 8.5.3. Number one, let's talk about the whole, Notes client being a collaboration dashboard. So what we are saying in 8.5.3 or in 8.5.x platform is that you can really bring in a whole host of things put together. So you can do your email, calendar, contacts. You can do your unified communication, you can do your social networking, you can even do your personal document and corporate document libraries, you can get your feeds, widgets, and of course you can get your composite applications or your mashups out there. So really speaking, what the Notes client can offer you in a single window is really access to all these different capabilities. Now, from that particular standpoint, what are we doing in 8.5.3? Number one thing on the Notes client. There is an improved sorting now, so which means that now when you sort your mails, you also include the replies and the forwards. So which means that all that gets sorted very nicely and efficiently. You actually now have, when you look at a mail, you can right click on the mail and you can say that search by sender or search by that subject. So which means that if you have a repeating subject, you can go and search on that particular mail just by right clicking on that mail and saying search by subject. You don't need to go and create a very complex query in the search bar. Makes it very easy. You can also remove the signature option, and of course there's a new UI for the signature. So which means that you can actually now remove your signature, as well as you can improve the signature UI. So these are a few changes which have been done on the Notes client. I obviously can't do, in interest of time, every feature which is being done in 8.5.3. But I'm just capturing the very, very key ones which for your benefit. Couple of other points. You can preview new mails. So now it has a nice slider on the side that when a new mail comes in, you can preview that part of the mail and then of course you can open it up. So you can actually do that. Now, there's a new type ahead preference, which means that now you can not just see the person's name or his organizational hierarchy, but you can also see certain other details. For example, you can see his job title or location. This was pretty much true for a lot of customers who came back and said, I have two different people in the same division. I have, one, let's say Ajay Verma and another Ajay Verma. So how do I distinguish between them? Or I have two Rishabh Sharmas. How do I distinguish between them? So it's very easy now to distinguish. I'll show you a quick demo of that. Number one thing, whenever you set up a meeting and you change the meeting, there needs to be a placeholder for the old time so that you know that the meeting shifted from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Earlier there was no option available, but today now with 8.5.3 the option is available now. You can also now update meeting invitees if there are going to be changes in the meeting. So for example, to start with, you called 50 people into the meeting, and out of those 20 people dropped off. Do the other 30 people know to come to know that now suddenly from a 50-member meeting, this is now turned out to be a 30-member meeting? Answer is currently no, but with 8.5.3 you will get that capability available. You can also forward iCal subscriptions, and what you can now do on your personal contacts is you can hide your address in type ahead. So which means that if you don't want certain addresses to show up when you do your type ahead, for example, you don't want, let's say, your personal email addresses which have been cached into your recent contacts to come up when you do a type ahead, you can hide those addresses when you do a type ahead. Couple of other things on Traveler. Android 3.0 support coming in Traveler 8.5.3. More Android features, for example, on the home widget, you can now directly, for example, in Android, you can create a small little shortcut and say that, okay, fine, click on this. It dials the conference ID number and puts in the passcode, and then just gets you directly into the conference. So which means that you don't have to type in the telephone number and then the passcode, and then you have to press hash to get into that. So which means that what you can do is you can create a single string and you can just click on it, and then you can just get into the call directly. This is particularly good when you're driving or when you're probably not going to have access to something, so you can just go and do one click and you can do the whole call at one go. Encrypted mail, so this is another capability being available. Group name lookup being available in all the versions of Traveler, and of course reply and forward indicators on the iPhone. So what we're basically trying to do with Traveler is to basically bring in a feature parity between all the different OSs which are there in the market, which we are supporting. So we are basically making sure that by the end of this year, you will have a fully functional Traveler which you see on Android, which you see on iPhone, which you see on Windows, which you see on Nokia. You will see that everything has the same set of features and the same set of functionalities. At the same time, we will also make sure that we are looking at the market very, very closely, and we will keep updating Traveler on a more frequent basis as and when OS versions change, so that you can get the latest version